What is going on, Savage Life family? Today we're going to be talking about Cassava Sciences, or SAVA ticker symbol. So in the past month, the company shot up over 1,000% to a high of $138.50, which is good news for the company. Now, if you are the individual who bought at $138 on the dot, then you are seeing a major loss now and are panicking. So I'm sorry for those individuals. I'm going to go ahead and tell it right there. And I'm going to tell you what the projection of this company looks like, what it could be in the future, and what it's going to be looking like in the next couple of months. So I'm going to tell you how it is. Let's get right to it. So in the past week, it's still up $24 after that massive explosion of over $100. But in the past day, it has been dropping immensely. It was down $18 on Friday. I'm filming this on Sunday. So on Monday, information is going to change slightly, but not definitively. So if you don't know what Cassava Sciences is, the company develops safe and effective drugs for use in pain management, particularly in the area of opioid painkillers, and they are working on a drug that will successfully aid in the treatment of Alzheimer's disease, which is currently uncurable. So in terms of the ethical prospects of things, they are a company working to better the world. Good news for Cassava Sciences investors. So the company was founded in 1998. It's not your run-of-the-mill startup company here, and has a market capitalization of about $910 million. So they're currently sitting on some funds to play with. So what shot up the stock price over $100 was the fact that Cassava Sciences intends to begin a phase 3 clinical trial of simufilum in the second half of 2021. So should the treatment continue to show the ability to safely improve cognitive function in people with Alzheimer's, its market potential would likely be enormous. Nearly 6 million of people in the US alone suffer from the memory destroying disease, and there are currently no drugs on the market that can halt its progression. So any good news towards the progression of helping individuals with the disease of Alzheimer's is going to be massive towards any company innovating towards that matter. So I have a neighbor who's suffering from Alzheimer's as well, so I do know how this disease does affect those individuals. And it's sad to say this, that we need any sort of drug that could help those individuals suffering from Alzheimer's sooner than later. So those trials results saw improvements in its cognitive abilities of patients suffering from Alzheimer's disease that were taking Sava's simufilum. So what simufilum does is restores the normal shape and function of altered filament in a brain, and filament is protein found in the brain that acts as a binding method. So to go along with this Alzheimer's disease treatment, it's also working on a way to test for the illness, and what they use for that is called Sava DX, and it's a diagnostic tool that can detect Alzheimer's with just a blood test. Now, simufilum's treatment improved cognition scores by 10% from baseline to month 6, which is abilities to read, learn, remember, and reason. And simufilum also improved dementia-related behavior, such as anxiety, delusions, and agitation by 29% from baseline to month 6. So this was a 6-month clinical trial, and we could see massive process compared to any other company here in its industry working on bettering Alzheimer's disease or working towards finding a drug to halt Alzheimer's. So what's more important than the improved cognition and the improved dementia-related behavior is the fact that no serious safety issues were reported during the studies, which means if they continue on this steady road here, we could see massive growth, massive potential for the Sava stock at the current moment. But we have to wait for this phase 3 clinical trial to pass, and then approval from the FDA. I'll get to that in a little bit, but first, more importantly, I want to look at the balance sheet. Now, when you're an investor, you want to look at the financials of a company, where they're putting their money, how they're spending it, and what money are they receiving. So looking at the balance sheet, It seems from September 30th of last year to this year, their cash assets has increased dramatically, and their liabilities has increased, but not as dramatically as their cash, as you can see here. But what I like about Sava is their debt. They pretty much have no debt on their balance sheet. Is non-existing, which is incredible for a pharmaceutical company. Seeing as they have absolutely no revenue, you would see the debt continue to rise massively, but the debt has yet to even reach $1 million yet. So there's lots of space and cushion for Sava to fall back on. And in terms of their shareholder equity, which is what I like to look at when I'm looking at a balance sheet, is the assets minus the liabilities, and what's left over after all liabilities are paid, it's 23.97 million. So lots of cushion, like I'm explaining, on his balance sheet, which is a very good look for Sava, and it's attractive, extremely attractive to its investors in that matter. Okay, so besides the balance sheet, how I was talking about phase 3, they're going to have to get past this phase 3. So it's good that they made it to phase 3, because just 33% of drugs make it to phase 3, which tests the potential treatment in the largest number of people. But phase 3 lasts from 1 to 4 years, so that's what you're going to have to keep in mind. This is going to have to be a long-term investment, and once they get past phase 3 and the company submits an NDA or BLA for the FDA and it gets approved, we could be looking at an explosion of over another 1000% for this company. But it's going to take some time. It could take anywhere from months to years. So keep that in mind when bag holding this company. Well, I wouldn't typically say bag holding, because it is a pretty good investment since they are working on bettering the world in the long term. So in conclusion, I don't see the stock shooting back up to a high of $138 anytime soon. I'm going to give it straight to you. For those of you who bought it at $138, you're going to be having to bag hold the company for quite some time, so don't even look at the stock anytime soon. What shot the stock up was on account of those great clinical trial results, and news like that tends to come every couple of months to years. So I do believe this is a great buy, as it's finding consolidation around this $40 price range. But expect to hold this long term, as they have to pass phase 3 and submit an NDA and be approved for this stock to shoot up another 1000%. So there is definitely hope for you, for those individuals who bought over $100. If you have call options expiring anytime soon, then I would most likely hop out of those options, because what plummeted the price down to this $45 level was a massive sell-off and a massive amounts of people collecting profits. So for it to shoot back up, it would need more good news, but it's not going to receive good news anytime up. So the only thing moving and making this stock volatile at the current moment is momentum and anticipation for the future. But if you are a long-term investor, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. They are working on bettering the world, and if Simulphilum is approved by the FDA, this is going to be one of the first drugs for Alzheimer's to put it at a halt. So it's going to be a huge, meaning the sky is the limit if we receive that FDA approval. So there you have it. If you guys have any questions, be sure to drop it down below in the comment sections. Smash that like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.